Zach, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver this past Wednesday, he brought up that there is a possibility that the league might host an exhibition game for charity so they can raise funds and awareness for those that have been affected by the coronavirus pandemic. So obviously, we've been without a game for what is this now? A week, 2 weeks, roughly.
I think it's 2, maybe
2 weeks.
3.
That
It's
feels
been a
like
while.
it's been a while.
It's
So
been a while.
the possibility of having this game, there have been players who we've seen on a lot of social media who've been trying to find ways to work around it to keep that NBA feel to it. But if they do a charity game, would you be behind it?
I think it makes sense. Yeah. I mean, it's a way to get the NBA back on TV. It's a way to raise money for things like COVID-19. I don't know what else. I'm guessing it would all go to COVID-19. 100% sure. But yeah, that would make sense. The thing, it's interesting how they would do it. So every player that would want to participate would have to test for it, and then and then there'd be a lot of testing that would happen before the game started, and then they would play the game. And I'm assuming they would test them the day of the game, so they would have to have backups in place. But yeah, I think it's a good way for the NBA if they want to get back on the court. It's a good way to get back on the court. It's also a good way to create some hype. It's a good way to raise some money,
And I think also with it, and some players there actually have been concerned that because some of them haven't really been doing much to try to avoid, also depending on where they're from, some just really can't go out much, especially those who obviously have it. But they've also talked about just overall staying in shape. In fact, one concern is that if there is a potential postseason, that a lot of those players are going to be out of shape because, they can't really do too much. But that have also been a little concern, which I don't think would be too much. And this charity game would help with that. I agree with you, though. I think it's a great way to, one, raise awareness, obviously raise actual money for COVID-19. I think it'd just be a fun way. Now, and I think a lot of NBA players would want to play because they haven't played in about 2-3 weeks here. So I'd be behind it. I would watch it. I think the ratings would be great for the NBA and however they broadcast or wherever they were to broadcast it. But I think they should. I think it'd be a great way for both COVID-19 and the NBA.
One other thing that I think is huge to recognize, I'm guessing they wouldn't have fans at these games.
I would have to put money on that. They probably will
So
not.
then is it going to be pay-per-view? Is that how they're going to raise the money? Like, I'm just curious how they would raise the money. Or is it like, we're going to play the games, donate money here? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm just curious how they would raise the money because if they testing all the players and all the workers to be at these games, I'm guessing like they couldn't test every single fan that bought a ticket. Like that would be a lot of tests. And it would take away tests from other things, like people who are showing symptoms and need the test because like I think it's a little I don't know if it's the move to like test a fan just to be able to go to a game who's showing no symptoms or who hasn't, you know what I mean, who's been hiding in their house for a month and very much doesn't have it or wouldn't have it, at least not anymore, versus a player versus like people who are showing symptoms and need to get tested. And I think it's what is it? What does that mean? What do we do? So I'm guessing it would be pay-per-view or some sort of way of raising money that way because I can't imagine them having fans there.
So yeah, that'll just be really interesting to see in terms also of a date for when this would actually happen. Kind of again, still up in the air, but still a possibility right now. If they can find a way to make it work, though, I think there'd be a lot of people, including a lot of NBA players, who would be all in for that game.
Yeah, I'm just curious what's gonna happen. It'd be a cool, fun game. It'd probably be similar to the All-Star game. And the All-Star game was really fun this year. So that's where I hope the format goes, is they do it similar to the All-Star game. No clock, play to points. Whoever wins the quarter wins the quarter. You know, I think that would be really cool. depending on how they do that.
I agree. Yeah.